National championship game at the Rose Bowl featuring the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs and the number 1 Northern Michigan Wildcats looking to complete a Cinderella season, opening kickoff to the 2-time Jet Rogers Award winner Calvin Mentor, who takes it to the right side of the field and cuts across the 30 before being brought down near midfield after a good return. Short throw to Jace Fye on a 2nd and 8 goes for a first down, and on 1st and 10, Clink scrambles to the right and throws towards Fye again, who's wide open for the game's first touchdown. NMU leads 7-zip. Georgia's first offensive possession starts slow with a 3-yard loss, but Vandegrift hits Jesse Dean for a nice gain to set up the 3rd down conversion to Brian Cooper. Brock Vandegrift can run, and he picks up a first down, and then he goes on a long run after keeping it on the read option for a 40-yard touchdown to tie the game at 7. Wildcats try to get Baza Beatson going on the ground, and then Clink launches a 50-50 ball that Jace Fye makes a brilliant play on. But the Georgia defense was after Clink, and Baza picks up a 4th and 2 to keep the drive alive. But on 1st and 10, Clink rolls to the right, and he gets a little bit greedy, going for it all, and it's intercepted in the end zone. The NMU defense was holding quite well until Vandegrift hit TJ White for a first down just before the first quarter break. On the other side of the break, Vandegrift was missing passes, and the Wildcats get a 3rd down stop. Christoph Hornsby was able to pick up a big 3rd down conversion, and Baza had a nice run on 1st down. That Bulldog pressure got to Alejandro Clink, and they ultimately made a 3rd down stop to get the football back. A weak punt gave Georgia great field position, but it came down to 3rd and 7, and Vandegrift had way too much time to find Philip Hubbard for a first down. Then Vandegrift gets a beauty off to TJ White, who just smoked Cornelius Jenkins for the lead. Wildcats trying to score before the half, and Clink had a ton of time, but Brewski was rock trying to catch it deep. Lucky for NMU, Hornsby made a clutch catch on 3rd down, unfazed by a big hit. Calvin Mentor then picked up a nice 9 yards on 1st down, and Jace Fye picks up 10 on 2nd to keep the chains moving. But on 1st down, Clink is taken down by Nate Grant, who some of you may remember heavily recruited back in Season 2. What a jerk. On 2nd and 17, Clink goes for too big of a chunk, and he's pressured on 3rd down, and he has to throw it away. Out of kicker Christian Klump's range, the Wildcats go for it on 4th down, and Clink is drilled trying to run for the first down, and he has a hard time getting up. He's hurt. At halftime, it's 14-7, and Georgia gets it coming out of the half. Clink has an abdominal strain, and he's done for the 3rd quarter. And Georgia, facing a 3rd and 3, is able to pick it up with another nice TJ White grab. Vandegrift hits Philip Hubbard for a 20-yard gain, and Booth has his best run of the day. NMU defense was able to get it to 3rd and 10, but a boneheaded face mask on a tackle by safety Steve Estes gets him the first down anyway, and an absolutely insanely stupid encroachment from Hannibal Marbles puts Georgia in position to just hand it to Booth and pick up a 21-7 lead. First possession of the second half for the Wildcats goes horribly with Igor Ingolf at quarterback, as he just shows all of his inexperience in so many ways in the biggest game of the season, just taking forever to get rid of the football and taking unnecessary chances throwing the football deep. Georgia took over and had a big 3rd and 7, and Dean runs a middle screen, picking up 15 yards and a first down. The game headed into the 4th quarter, and NMU was in trouble. They got it to 3rd down again, but they couldn't stop Booth from getting past the sticks. Then Booth was literally throwing punches at our defense, and on 3rd and 3, Vandegrift actually missed a pass, and the Bulldogs had to settle for a field goal. Alejandro Clink was back in the game. Could he lead the comeback? Well, not from under Nate Grant's crotch, but he does get a great throw to Brewski downfield and an athletic off-balance pass to Nick Pierce, which sets up a short 4-yard touchdown throw to backup quarterback Igor Ingolf, who was recruited as an athlete, to make it 24-14. Nick Booth then had the biggest play of the game, stealing all the momentum right back for Georgia with this long 55-yard run. The Wildcat defense was able to stop the Bulldog running game and hold them to a field goal, making it a 13-point game. But the Bulldog defense wasn't letting up at all. And not only does Brewski drop a long pass, but it's illegal touching, making it a huge 3rd and 15. And on a desperation throw, Klink is intercepted, and he is feeling awful as Georgia kneels on it and has Alejandro Klink's last pass of his career be an interception that sealed the national championship game. The Georgia Bulldogs take the Natty 27-14 as the Wildcats Cinderella season comes to an end, and things are about to change with all of the seniors who are graduating this year. First, a few good things. TNJ has a school career record of 49 sacks, beating the 30 set in 2006. He also had a season record 24 this season, breaking the 2005 record of 14. Alejandro Klink holds the school record now of 104 touchdown passes in a career, breaking his own record of 69. Nice. He threw 35 this season to break his previous record of 30. He also threw for 13,125 yards in his career, breaking his own record of 9,854. Baza Beatson breaks the school career rushing touchdown record of 42, set in 2004 with his total of 45. All those records do not get the awful taste of a Natty loss out of anyone's mouth. Here's your MAC standings for Season 4 of this dynasty. Bowling Green fails to win a single game, but no team in the East really stood a chance of beating either NMU or NIU if it came down to that in a MAC title game anyway. In the West, EMU goes 0-8 in conference for a 1-11 record on the season. Wildcats have first-team All-Americans for the first time ever in right end TNJ, D-tackle Hannibal Marbles, middle linebacker Kaz Cray, cornerback Sav Rambo, and return man Calvin Mentor. No second-team or freshman All-Americans, though, to speak of. All conference players includes all of TNJ, Marbles, Cray, Rambo, and Mentor, but add in right tackle Colby Borders, right outside linebacker Miles Burrow, and strong safety Steve Estes. Second team all conference adds in quarterback Alejandro Klink II, left tackle Alex Thomas, left guard Andy Nelson, center Steve Redd, right guard Ukemi Copeland, right end Dill Burt, cornerback Cornelius Jenkins, free safety Richard Lutz, and kicker Christian Klump. What a star-studded team we had. We went over TNJ's awards in the last episode, but Sav Rambo was really close to winning the Thorpe Award, placing second in voting, and Klump was actually considered for a Grozo Award, but no Calvin Mentor on the Jet Rogers consideration is wild for the man who won the previous two and was first-team All-American as a return man. Even with a Natty loss, it was the best season in Northern Michigan Wildcat history, just for shutting out Michigan, slamming Michigan State, and beating Ohio State at the shoe. The way they played out of conference, there's no wonder why everyone except NIU in the MAC was no match for them. They've committed to the MAC for next season, but should they move afterwards? If so, where? Tell me in the comments. Head coach FG is coming off of an AP Coach of the Year award, having taken the squad to 2 straight bowl games and winning the MAC this season. Ball State will lose their head coach to a better job, and they're going to replace him with the old DC of Georgia Southern. Bowling Green fired Drinkwitz after not winning a single game, and they'll replace him with the Illinois defensive coordinator. Central Michigan loses Plow to a new job, and they're going to hire Charles Woodson, our defensive coordinator, after just one season with us. Eastern Michigan fires Ledger and brings in the San Jose State offensive coordinator to replace him. And Western Michigan's head coach retires, and the Kentucky offensive coordinator was hired in his place. So not only did we lose Charles Woodson to Central Michigan, but Robert Wilson Jr.'s contract expired, and the AD decided not to extend him. So we're going to have to find 2 new coordinators. But first, We lost a ton of players, and this team is not going to be the same. Tight end Rigoberto Ramirez Jr. will enter the NFL draft after a wonderful career where he caught for 2,642 yards and 23 total touchdowns. Quarterback Alejandro Klink II truly will be missed as a wild gunslinger. He was so fun with 13,125 yards, 104 touchdowns, and 71 picks. So Brett Favre-like. Maybe he has a shot at being signed as a UDFA. Wide receiver Jace Fye has also entered the draft with 1,798 total yards and 13 touchdowns. I look forward to seeing his career extended, maybe getting more of a chance at the pro level. The rest of our graduating seniors would have to be undrafted free agents, as kicker Christian Klump hit 42 out of 52 field goals and only ever missed one extra point. Middle linebacker Kaz Cray had 240 tackles, 35 for loss, 5 sacks, and 6 picks in his 4 years. Pretty good numbers. Punter Jacques Nitrous, who surprisingly never had a great net average, is also graduating. Running back Baza Beatson, who will no doubt get a chance to make some roster in the NFL after 3 straight 1,000-yard, 10-touchdown seasons. Free safety Richard Lutz with 171 total tackles, 7 for loss, and 2 picks. Wide receiver Bruce Ski's best season was his freshman year, but he came back with a decent senior season, so maybe NFL teams will take note of that. Defensive end TNJ should no doubt get a UDFA contract with 49 career sacks, including that dominant 24-sack senior season this past year. Cornerback Cornelius Jenkins had 7 career interceptions and made 110 tackles, 4 for loss. That's a lot as a corner. Wide receiver Christoph Hornsby had consistent numbers throughout his career with the exception of that sophomore season. With 1,945 yards and 17 touchdowns, he might get a look in camp if he can keep them damn drops down. Defensive tackle Hannibal Marbles racked up 80 tackles, 35 for loss, and 21 total sacks. That's not bad for an interior D lineman. Wide receiver Calvin Mentor had a really nice career. He only had 2,659 receiving yards, but he had 20 touchdowns while also getting 4,579 kick return yards in 3 years as a starting kick returner for 9 touchdowns and 835 in 3 years punt returning for 2 more touchdowns as a 2-time Jet Rodgers return man of the year. Right tackle Colby Borders had 7 total pancakes, but he gave up 32 career sacks. Cornerback Sav Rambo had a really solid 172 tackles, 21 for loss, and 3 sacks, 6 picks. What a nice slot corner he really was. Left outside linebacker Ben Van Gooten had 137 tackles, 21 for loss, 4 sacks, and 1 interception in his career. Left tackle Alex Thomas pancaked 8 guys, all in his senior year, while giving up 13 sacks throughout all 4 years. Maybe that senior season is enough to get him a look. Left guard Andy Nelson had a very solid senior year to equal his career pancake and sacks allowed totals. Ben Van Gooten decides not to pursue an undrafted free agent contract, and instead he became the new defensive coordinator. Becoming our offensive coordinator is Colby Borders, figuring out that he had way too many sacks given up to probably ever make it in the NFL. He decided that he would be our new offensive coordinator at Northern Michigan. Rigoberto Ramirez and Jace Fye get drafted, and we have 0 transfers coming into the squad. Off-season recruiting goes well, and we put together a really solid class. Punter Nick Boyd will replace Nitrous as he's our only player outside of our region that we were to recruit, as he got really interested when we sat at 6-0. So I'm excited for the punter from Alabama. All of our other signees right now are from Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. So very, very regional here. Also keep an eye on wide receiver Justin Burley, who chose Western Michigan over us. Not that he'd have a great chance of playing as a Wildcat anyway. All in all, it's good for the 7th best recruiting class in the nation, just ahead of Alabama and Georgia. Despite committing to the MAC conference for one more season, this schedule will not be easy with a completely new roster of starters. We start with a national championship rematch in Athens against the Bulldogs. Then we go to the Big House for our yearly battle with Michigan. Number 7 North Carolina and number 13 Illinois come in before we get into the bulk of MAC conference play featuring number 12 NIU, who always gives us fits, even this past undefeated season. It's week number 2, and we are the number 10 team in the nation heading to Athens to take on the 0-1 Number 8, Georgia Bulldogs. They'll be looking to get back on track. They'll be pissed. Predictions for this game, the season as a whole, let me know in the comments section below. Thank you, channel members, and a special thanks to TClink24, our only franchise quarterback. Love you, FG fam.